Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and a happy season of celebration. In today's video tutorial, I'll be sharing with you a step-by-step on pattern drafting, cutting and sewing of this beautiful off-shoulder wrap dress with bow. It's a simple video tutorial which is beginners friendly and also advanced learning. So watch till the end to learn more. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with friends. Okay, so guys, let's get started. So guys, to start off with this video tutorial, as you can see on my pattern paper, I've gone ahead to draw my shoulder line, which is this line that you're seeing over here. Okay, then from shoulder to my upper chest line, let me just use the word upper chest line, is 5 inches. Okay, which is this point here. Then down to my bust line is 10 inches. Okay, to my under bust is 13 inches. To my waistline, which is my half length, I'll be making use of 16.5 inches. Then still leaving my tape, down to my hip supposed to be 26 inches, but because I added half an inch here, so I'll add my half an inch here again, making it 26.5 inches. Okay, then this full pattern paper length is going to be our dress full length. Okay, so I'll go ahead and draw a straight line across my marked point. So here will be my upper chest line. Okay, chest line. Here will be my bust line, my under bust, my waistline and my hip. Okay, my hip. Then coming over to my shoulder line, which is this line here, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, which I normally do here on this channel. So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark my 8 inches exact point, which is this point here. Okay, then from my marked point, I'll come down by 1 inch to mark for my shoulder slope, and from my shoulder slope point, I'm going to come down again by 8 inches to mark for my armhole. Okay, my armhole. So I'm going to mark a straight line connecting my armhole length. Okay, so here is my armhole length. Then we are not making use of the neckline, so I'll just mark any type of neckline. Okay, then I'll also go ahead to draw a straight line across this my point here to create my armhole. Okay, so this line here now will serve as our lower chest line. Okay, lower chest line. Okay, this is the upper chest line. Hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing. This is our upper chest line, this is our lower chest line, this is my bust line, under bust, waistline and my hip line, and this line here will serve as our dress full length. Then the next thing to do here is to curve for our armhole, and to do that, coming over to our armhole, okay, our upper chest line, the midpoint here, I'm going to come in by half an inch. Then coming over to our lower chest line, I'm going to divide my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8. So I'll go ahead and mark my 8.8 inches here, then add 1.5 inch. So I'll curve for my armhole. The next thing to do is to mark our nipple to nipple measurements. Okay, so moving down to our waistline, I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement of 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 4 inches at my waistline, also mark 4 inches at my underbust. I'll also mark 4 inches at my bust line, lower chest line, and also up to my upper chest line. Okay, then draw a straight line connecting my point. Coming over to my bust line, I'm going to go down by 1 inch, okay, which is this point here. Then at my waistline, I'm going to take half an inch from each side of my nipple to nipple line, okay, to create a dart leg. Okay, so I'm going to connect it to this point here. At the right hand side of your bust here, take out 1 inch from your under bust, connect it to the half an inch marked point at the waistline. Also at my upper chest line, okay, I'm going to take out half an inch from each side of my nipple to nipple dart leg. Okay, so I'm going to take out half an inch from here, half an inch from here. From my bust line again, I'm going to go up by half an inch, which is this point here. Okay, this point here. Then I'm going to connect it to meet my nipple to nipple dart leg. Okay, then the next thing here is to take our basic body measurement. Okay, coming over to my bust line, my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches. So I'll mark my 8.8 inches point here, then add 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. To my underbust circumference of 29 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.2 inches. Okay, so I'll mark my 7.2 inches here, then add 1.5 inch hemming allowance. Okay, to my waistline, my waist circumference of 27 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 6.4 inches, sorry, 6.8 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark my point here, then add 1.5 inch for my hemming allowance. Okay, down to my hip line, my hip circumference of 37 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.2 inches. Okay, so I'll mark my point here, then also add my 1.5 inch hemming allowance. Okay, so I'll go ahead and connect all these my marked points together. Okay, and also coming over to my pattern paper hemline, down hemline, I'm also going to take my hip measurement. Okay, so what I have here is 11 inches, so I'm also going to retake my hip measurement here. Okay, then I'll go ahead and connect it. Because this is a pencil wrap dress, okay, I'm going to subtract 2 inches from here. Okay, I'm going to subtract 2 inches from my hem down part of my pattern paper, then I'm going to connect it this way. Okay, so this is off. The next thing to do here is I'm going to give a little sweetheart neckline. Okay, so at my upper chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. So I'm going to place my curve ruler like this as to connect for my neckline. Okay, front pattern neckline for my off shoulder. Okay, so guys, for the down part, which is the skirt part, that I'm also going to take my dart. Okay, so from my nipple to nipple line, which is this midpoint here, I'm going to come down by 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches, which is here. So I'm going to also draw a straight line to meet this point. Okay, then connect my dart leg to meet this point here. Okay, okay, so the next thing to do here is to cut this out. Okay, and after cutting, this is what I have for my front pattern. Okay, and to create my wrap pattern, okay, for the front pattern, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to extend my hip line. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. I'll extend my hip line to this point here. Okay, from my hip line, I'm going to go down by 3 inches. Okay, which is this point that you're seeing over here. Okay, then coming over to the down hem of our front pattern for the skirt part, I'm going to measure 7 inches. Okay, which is this point here. To my hip line, I'm going to use free hand to make a curve. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. Free hand to make a curve. Okay, then I'm going to cut this part out. Okay, so guys, I'm going to duplicate this, so I'll go ahead and get another piece of pattern paper that I'm not using. Then I'll turn it this way. Okay, I'll turn it over this way, then trim this out. Okay, so guys, after trimming, I'm going to turn it over like this. Okay, you can see what I have. Make sure that both the waistline are matching. Okay, so this is it. So these are the sides, the upper part. Okay, I'll also go ahead and create my pleated ruche at the front pattern. Okay, then I'll mark 5 inch, just the way you see me doing it here in this video. After that, I'll go ahead and connect each point together. I also went ahead to label it, then use my scissors to slit along the lines. Okay, this is all for the front pattern. You can as well take the down skirt length, the down skirt part to your desired length. Okay, before cutting it out. Okay, so guys, to draft for my back pattern, okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead to take my horizontal body measurement. Here is my shoulder line, my upper chest line. Okay, here is my bust line, under bust line, waistline, and my hip line. Okay, this is my upper chest line, my upper chest line. Okay, and here is my zipper allowance of 1.5 inch, just the same way we did for the front pattern. Okay, then coming over to my upper chest line, because this is an off shoulder, I won't be going to create shoulder or neckline. Okay, so coming over to my upper chest line, I'm going to measure 8 inches. Okay, which is here. Okay, then from my shoulder line to my armhole depth, okay, is 8 inches. So I'll mark my 8 inches point here. So to do that in an off shoulder, okay, you can see what I have here is 3 inches. Okay, I just did it for a better understanding. So I'm going to connect my line, then I'm also going to draw a straight line across my marked point, okay, to create my lower chest line. Okay, my lower chest line. Okay, then I'm also going to mark for my armhole curve, which is dividing my bust circumference by 4, and my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches. So I'll mark my point here, then add 1.5 inch hemming allowance here. Okay, so I'm going to connect it. Then the next thing to do here is coming over to my waistline. Okay, I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement just the same way we did for the front pattern. So I'm going to mark 4 inches from my waistline up to my upper chest line. Okay, then I'm going to draw a straight line. After that, at my waistline, my nipple to nipple line, which is this point here, I'm going to also go down by 5 inches to mark for the skirt part. That, okay, 5 inches, which is this point here. So I'm also going to extend my line downwards. Okay, then at my waistline, I'm going to take out 1/2 inch from each side of my dart leg. Okay, so I'm going to connect my dart like this from my chest line. I'm going to connect it. So guys, to contour for my zipper allowance to avoid zipper fold, okay, on my waistline at my zipper allowance point, which is this point here that I'm pointing at, I'm going to go in by 1 inch. Okay, this, which is this point here. Okay, this point. Then from my upper chest line, which is this point that I'm pointing at, I'm going to connect it to meet this point. Okay, then I'm also going to contour it down to my hip line. Okay, you can see what I'm doing, which is this point. Okay, from this line I'm going to take my contour line. Okay, then take it down. Then the next thing to do here is to take our basic body measurement. Okay, coming over to my bust line, my bust circumference of 35 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8. So from my contour point, which is this line here, I'm going to measure 8.8. Okay, from my contoured line, you can see it, the second line in, I'm going to measure from that point. I'm going to measure 8.8, mark my point here, then add 2 inches hemming allowance. Remember, for the front pattern we added 1 inch, 1.5 inch. Okay, but for the back pattern we added 2 inches. You can as well make it the same 1.5 inch. The reason is because of my dart. Okay, then also coming over to my underbust circumference of 29 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.2 inches. So from my contoured line, which is the second line in, I'm going to take measure my 7.2 inch for my underbust circumference, mark my point, then add 2 inch to it, which is here. Okay, then to my waistline, my waist circumference of 27 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 6.8 inches. So I'm also going to measure from my contoured line, which is this point here. So 6.8, mark my point, then add my 2-inch hemming allowance. Okay, then down to my hip. My hip circumference of 37 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.2 inches. So I'll also take my 9.2 inches here, add my 2 inches hemming allowance, then I'll measure it. What I have here is 11.2 inches. Then I'll also take the same measurement at the down part of my pattern paper, which is this line that you're seeing over here. Then I'm going to connect it, all my marked points together. Okay. Also, at the down hem of my pattern paper, I'm also going to subtract 2 inches, okay, from here. Then I'm going to create another hemline. Okay, so this is off. Okay, for our back pattern neckline, I'm going to go up by half an inch, which is this point here. Then I'm going to create a neckline slope. Okay, so guys, this is all for our back pattern. This is for the back. Okay, then the next thing is to cut this out. So guys, after cutting for our back pattern, coming over to our half length, the upper part, I'm going to subtract half an inch. Okay, I'm going to subtract half an inch, which is this point here, then slit. Okay, I'm going to then after that I'll trim it out. Okay, so guys, after cutting, this is what you are going to have for both the front and the back pattern. Okay, don't forget to hit on the subscription button, subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. Okay, and if you have any question, do well to drop it on the comment section. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to arrange my pattern paper on my fabric just the way you see me doing it here. Okay, then I'm going to subtract my half length to get the actual length of my dress. Okay, so what I have here is 39.3 inches, so I want 41 inches dress length. Okay, but I'll be making it 42 inches for my hemming. Okay, my hemming allowance of 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so I'm adding 2.5 inch here. Okay, to meet up with my dress length. 2.5 inch. So let me go ahead and cut it out. So guys, after cutting, I went ahead to make my pleats. Okay, I made my pleats according to the number of my slits. Okay, just the way you see me doing it here in this video. After that, I also went ahead to cut for the other side of my wrap skirt. Okay, and after cutting, this is what I have. Okay, the next thing to do here is to cut for our lining. So guys, I went ahead to fold my lining into two as to cut for the both sides of my wrap pattern. For the front pattern, you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. I'll just sew from here to this point. Okay, the same applies here to this point. Okay, I also went ahead to cut for the upper part of my dress. Then for the lining, I would cut it off camera. Okay, so guys, for my front pattern, I've gone ahead to fix my lining. Okay, you can see how neat the inner part of my front pattern is. Okay, you can see the lining. After this, now I'll go ahead and iron it. Okay, you can see the wrap. This is for the front, and also for the back. I'm also gonna ahead to fix all my linings. Okay, you can see I've also gonna ahead to fix my zipper to it. Okay, you can see that. Then the next thing to do here is to fix our twisted bow, okay, at the neckline of our dress, off shoulder dress, okay. And to do that, this is my piece of fabric. I went ahead to cut out this piece of fabric, which is 26 inches length. The length is 26 inches and the width is about 10 inches. So I've also gone ahead to fold, okay, to fold the edges of my fabric that I'll be using for this bow, okay. Then after that, I went ahead to stitch up this part, okay. You can see I stitched up this part. Then I'm going to insert this into this one, okay. You can see what I'm doing. So guys, after inserting, go ahead and stitch up this part, okay. You can see, go ahead and stitch up this part here and also tighten this side, okay. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to do the stitching up, okay. I've gone ahead to stitch it up for my bow, you can see. So I'm going to place it like this, the center part meeting with the center of my neckline, okay. I'll use my pin to hold it, okay. Okay guys, so this is it. I'm going to top stitch, okay. Just go ahead and top stitch. So guys, for my back pattern, this is my back pattern, okay. Then I will be placing the back pattern, okay. I'll be placing it like this. You can see that. Then use my pin to hold it, okay. I'm going to top stitch. I'll stitch this into the zipper, then top stitch, okay. So guys, this is the back pattern, okay. This is how it's going to look like, the back, okay. I'll place the front, okay, just like this. I'll place it on top like this, okay, matching up with the center of the back. Then after that, I'm going to stitch up this part, okay, making a little bit gathers here. While stitching, I'll make a little gather here. The same thing applies to this part here, okay. I'll make gathers, but before making my gathers, before that, I'm going to measure my round shoulder, and my round shoulder here is 41 inches, okay. So to stitch up this part, I'm going to measure 41 inch, okay. 41 inch divided by 2 is going to give me 20.5 inch, okay. So from the center, I'm going to measure 10.2. So this part here is going to be this half here is going to be 10.2 inches, and this half here is going to be 10.2 inches, okay, for my stitching, okay. Then for the armhole, I forgot to turn it up, but I'm going to use a bias to fold in for my armhole, okay. So remember, why stitching up, because this here will serve as your sleeve, okay. So while stitching up, divide your round shoulder by 2, okay. My round shoulder is 41 inch, divided by 2 is going to give me 20.5 inch, okay. So 20.5 inch divided by 2 halves again is going to give me 10.2 inches. So from the center here to this point is going to give me 10.2 inches, and that is what I'll be using to shape this, okay. to hem this part, okay? And after that, I'll go ahead and stitch up, okay? And that will be all for our off shoulder dress, okay? And finally guys, this is my end result, okay? For more video tutorials, turn on your notification bell to get notified each time I upload a new video. And thank you guys for watching. See you on my next video tutorial. Bye.